Hey Cancer, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing great. I hope your May season, your May Taurus season has started off awesome. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, and share. I would be very grateful. It helps me as I build my channel. Announcement. I'm excited to announce that my website is up and running and you can reach me over there if you'd like a personal reading through the contact page, and that's jovesstar.com. So that's jovesstar.com. You can also read a little bit about me personally over there. I would love it if you would go and take a look. Of course, you can still email me directly if you'd like at GeminiFire65@msn.com, and I'll get right back to you. So let's get right into your Taurus season reading. Cancer rising, the Sun in Taurus is focused on your 11th house of friends and community organizations. Hopes, dreams, and wishes. So you could be very busy and focused on getting involved in the community in some way. Since the Sun is in Taurus, Taurus represents the earth and our surroundings and comfort. Could be something environmental you're getting involved in, or maybe just planting a garden. I could see that. Getting out there and enjoying the outdoors, definitely. Just taking care of your body, breathing the air, hiking, things like that, or with friends, obviously, organizations. This is you out in the community in Taurus season, which is all about that. Uranus is traveling there with the Sun, so this could make it a little bit more exciting. You could be doing things that you've never done before, just on the spur of the moment. Be careful whatever you're doing out there, because Uranus can take us on some twists and turns and take us by surprise. So we want to keep our eyes open and for any kind of upsets that might come. But overall in the 11th house, unless you're having difficulty in some of your friend groups or community organizations, this should actually make for an exciting time if you're getting out there. Mercury is also traveling with Uranus and the Sun in your 11th house. So, that's a lot of talking and planning. I can see Cancer rising actually planting gardens or going to botanical gardens, or taking a hike, maybe like a hike through the Grand Canyon, or something really exciting like that. Something simple and something fun, and that gets you out there and involved in things that are close to your heart, things that you enjoy. So that is awesome for Cancer rising this month. You do have, I will say, a T-square there to Saturn in the 8th house, and then down to your 5th house. And the 5th house is, I'll explain that first, where the South Node is in Scorpio. The 5th house is all about your creativity and your joy, what you do for pleasure, your social interaction that's really fun. Romance is there. Children are there. And squaring Saturn in your 8th house, which is all about shared resources, so money, debts, things like that, things that you kind of want to keep private, that can be very deep and significant. It can represent endings and changes. There might be some tension there, and it could be a sort of a standoff between an obligation in your 5th house to maybe a romantic interest or a child, or something. Saturn's holding you accountable and it's stunting your creative expression or your ability to get out there, or you are getting out there, right? You want to be getting out there. 11th house, we talked about what the Sun is, that's your identity and your ego, and what you want is what you're really wanting to do. With that T-square there, you could sort of feel some pressure in between some responsibilities socially or with children, and what you want to or need to be doing or have committed to do, maybe even out there in the community. So, Saturn holds us accountable to what we have committed to, or in the eighth house it could also be soul contracts. That is where we can be bound by things, by what people owe us or what we owe people. And in the material world, that's debt, or inheritance or legacy, or things like that. But also the deeper things, the more intimate things. So hopefully there's not a whole lot of tension, friction, delay, or frustration coming to you between those two areas of life, really affecting your social life. If something like that's going on, I'd like to hear what that might be. Drop that down in the comments. So Saturn can be a little bit of a problem here for all of us, not just for you. It's just this is the house it's hitting for Cancer rising. It also could be that your movement out there in community and what you've done to help the community and help other people is actually starting to pay off for you. That could be one thing. That's eighth house. It's a payback too. Saturn is karmic. It's karmic paying of debts, and it's receiving as well. That would be awesome. Though definitely some tension or stress coming from the fifth house that might be holding you back, or requiring you to let go of some kind of a social tie, or let up a little bit on your creativity. Anyway, could just be a delay or a frustration. Definitely a responsibility. Hopefully you're still getting out there and having as much fun as you are able to. Still have heavy Pisces energy at play. This month we have Neptune and Jupiter, and now Venus and Pisces. They're all conjunct throughout the month, so heavy Pisces energy. Some of us handle the Pisces energy really, really well. It just depends on how easily we are able to move through the unknown, which is really what that is. Neptune and Pisces can be our blind spots. It's more about feeling and sensing what is going on, and understanding and knowing that, what is intended and meant to be happening, or the overall purpose is being carried out, even though we can't see it physically with our own eyes. So some of us have an easier time with that, and others don't. And of course it depends on what's going on in your life. So beautiful opportunities with all of that energy, for us to have faith that things are working out in time and space, as they are intended for us. And of course, the universe guides us in the direction that our soul has chose to go. And if we're walking our path, as I'm sure most of you know, in integrity and compassion and sacrifice and help towards other people, helping other people in the collective in general, we'll receive something in return. So if you're settling into that just fine, this should have been a really great time for you. All of that energy is in your ninth house of your spiritual integration, of where you learn about spirituality and expand your mind in that way, learn more things, and really deep dive into what truth is. And that's a perfect place for all of this Pisces energy, is really getting connected to your own personal truth and universal truth. So I love that for Cancer rising. Mars has moved into Pisces as well, and so you may actually be taking some action where that's concerned. So possible that you are actually reading, would be taking an action. Any kind of energy work, taking care of your mind and feeding your soul, learning more, getting involved in a spiritual group, a focus group, or anything like that would be a good use of Mars and Pisces energy, because you will have, with Mars in there, the energy to actually start taking action based on what it is that you've learned. Maybe that just means speaking truth, your own truth, or showing or displaying in some way, physically or verbally, what that is and what that means to you. So that is a great expression. We do have a couple of lunations coming up this month. We have a solar eclipse on the 30th coming up at the end of the week on the weekend, and we have a lunar eclipse in the middle of the month on May 15th. So there's a lot going on there. Eclipses are kind of a big deal, and I'll be talking about those as we go along here. Hopefully the new moon before the end of the week. We can chit chat about that a little bit. But this is the gist of the energy for Cancer rising for the month of May, Taurus season. And I will be back to do your Gemini season horoscope reading in about a month. And until then, may the stars forever be in your favor. Take good care, and I will see you next time. Bye.